We've got an interesting new convertible antenna from Pointing to talk about today. Hi, I'm Chris at the Mobile Internet Resource Center, here to show off an interesting new roof-mounted antenna for RVs and potentially boats as well that we've received from liveandlight.net. And this antenna is by Pointing, a South African company that is just now making inroads into the US. In fact, this antenna is what is being featured by Airstream, and Airstream's a new integrated cellular connectivity option. So what makes this antenna particularly intriguing is just how flexible it is. So we've been big fans of roof-mounted MIMO antennas from Mobile Mark and Panorama before, and a lot of those are set up where the wires come out the bottom and it goes through the roof and you clamp it on, or you can order them in a different configuration where the wires come out the back and you can use adhesive to stick it on, or even magnets to stick it on. This Pointing antenna, just one kit, is actually convertible between wires at the bottom or wires out the back, and you can even make it magnet attachable. So first off, let's just talk about what the specs are of this antenna. So this is a wideband MIMO antenna for your roof, primarily focused on cellular, but it actually comes in several versions. So it comes in a 2-in-1 version, which has the 2 cellular antennas, MIMO. It's got a 3-in-1 version that has also adds a GPS antenna, and then it has a 5-in-1 version that adds a MIMO Wi-Fi as well. So if you wanted roof-mounted Wi-Fi antennas, so you can have anywhere between 2 and 5 antennas, but externally they are all the same. It's just a matter of how many different antenna wires are coming out the bottom and what is inside. The antennas are wideband, designed to basically support all the frequencies in current use for 4G cellular out there, and then 2.4 and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi if you get the Wi-Fi version. And should be a pretty flexible device to have on your roof. It's a little tall, but not outrageously so, and kind of narrow. So you put this like a shark fin someplace up on your roof of an RV, and hopefully it will get a nice, good 360 view. The antenna gains, it's on cellular, it's a 5 dB gain antenna, Wi-Fi 7. So far we haven't had a real chance to see how well it performs, but seems pretty promising. We've liked this style of antenna from Mobile Mark and Panorama in the past. A few other things about this antenna. The current version of this is actually ground plane integrated, which means it does not matter whether you've mounted this on a metal surface or not. And so it's basically got its own ground plane built into it. You just stick this on the fiberglass. So let me show you a little bit about how this transformation process works. And you'll see, here's the cable. It comes with just, there you go, a 3-meter cable, so just about under 10 feet that it comes built into it. Actually seems even less than that. And maybe it's 2 meters. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be 2 meters. Yep, 2 meters. Just 6 feet of cable built into it, which is a very short cable, which is a good thing if you can position this someplace where it gets right into your tech cabinet. But if you do need longer cables, they have a 2-meter extension cable kit. You'll get up to a total of 12 feet. Probably wouldn't push it beyond that because you'll start losing all the gain of the antenna to cable loss. Now here's how the transformation process works. So I had only partially transformed it last night. It's got across the bottom this kind of threaded piece here that would go in like that, and like this, it screws in. And so now this is how you can mount it going through a roof. So if mounting it to a solid plate, and they actually include in their parts kit a longer version of that. So if you've got a thicker roof to get through, it lets you do that. You got this rubber gasket that slides onto here to seal up the bottom. And then this is what you'd have inside the roof, and you screw it in and pinch your roof in here and secure it tightly to the roof. It also has, this is an adhesive disc, you can peel this back and this will stick to the roof. So when you put it down, you can secure it in place and stick it there, and it will hold with outdoor adhesive. Now, if you wanted to transform it to not go through a big hole in your roof and you wanted to route the wires down and out a different point, you reverse this process. And you can slide these pieces all the way down and off the other end of the wire. Unscrew this part. Take this away. And then it's got little clamps here, 2 of these in the parts kit. And you bend the wires down here and you can use those screws to put the clamps there and then just glue it. There's also space for another one right there. And then use the adhesive to put it on your roof. Or they also sell a mag mount kit, and that's what these little holes here are for, is you can actually screw in magnets, 6 magnets, strong magnets. Then the magnet kit will come with little discs to put over this, and then just set it on a metal surface and it will grip securely, and particularly on a vehicle roof or anything that is a ferrous metal. You've got that, and a nice advantage of a mag mount is it's easy to remove, and if you happen to have a tree branch strike it, it will just slide back off and hopefully not cause any serious damage. So that sort of flexibility is really nice. Now there's one other really important thing with this pointing that we've actually already heard of some people running into this problem and thinking, oh my gosh, this doesn't work, is if you look here at the ends of the cables, you've got the cellular ends over here, right? This is the Wi-Fi, here's the cellular, here's the GPS. The GPS is a slightly thinner cable. But the Wi-Fi and cellular cable ends look exactly the same because they are both using SMA connectors. And now on any sort of a device that supports plugging in an external antenna, Wi-Fi, you use RP SMA, or reverse polarity SMA. So if you were to just screw this in to the Wi-Fi jack here, it actually probably would damage the jack. You'd be forcing 2 pins together. There's a holes and not a slot there. So not good. What they do instead is they give you, in the little parts kit, little adapters that turn the Wi-Fi end in from SMA into the proper RP SMA. So there's always a little bit of extra loss that comes from adapters like this, but I think they're probably doing this so they can have a nice, simple, standardized extension cable, depending on which combination of antennas and stuff they're using. So probably not too much loss to be had by doing that, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. And so you put those on the Wi-Fi side and make sure you never plug in the Wi-Fi side into the cellular side. There you go. So this is a kind of a look at the pointing, this new antenna kit. It costs between, depending on how many combinations of antennas, $140 and $200. So it's a pretty well priced for this type of antenna. And it's just showing up in the US market. Now the types of devices that you would connect this to would be things like a natural fit for the 5-in-1 is something like the PepWave Max BR1, which has 5 perfectly matched cable connections for it, for external MIMO, Wi-Fi, and cellular and GPS. The Cradlepoint devices tend to be the same with the 5 external connections. The PepWave Max Mini that Airstream is using actually has the 2 cellular and 1 Wi-Fi and GPS. So the pictures we've seen of what Airstream setup is doing, they're just leaving one of the Wi-Fi antennas disconnected. That's the downside of a device like this that doesn't have Wi-Fi MIMO. But the antenna is there, so you've got it for future expansion if you do have it. So that's the sort of device you might pair with this inside. If you're trying to connect this to something like a more basic mobile hotspot, like a Jetpack or a Netgear Nighthawk or something like that, that has antenna ports, you'd have to use an SMA to TS9 adapter to go from the cellular jacks on here into the TS9 ports on the hotspot. We have done that with the Mobile Mark that we have mounted on our bus, and it works fairly well. But it's not really the normally suggested combination of parts. So yeah, this device is also should be good for marine use. This is a marine rated enclosure according to Pointing, and would be able to mount on to a boat and be exposed to salt water. It is a watertight and seems like a pretty rugged piece of hardware. The biggest challenge with a boat might be you often have much longer cable runs than you do in an RV, so getting the cabling down to where you actually need it could be a challenge. So we'll be taking a closer look at this and sharing our particular hands-on testing results with our site members. And
these videos are brought to you by our premium members, our mobile internet aficionados. They make it possible for us to track this news and create these videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel, or better yet, consider becoming a member yourself.